can't be a lack of attention to detail. You can't say lieutenants are this and this and that. Oh, they can't read math. But you can't even read contract. You can't even fill out easy paperwork. If I decided to do like a crappy MOS, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say, have nothing to say to discourage me from joining that MOS or speak badly on it. You just, oh, sign this sucker up. This video is not to condemn Army recruiters. Just like in all industries and positions, you know you're going to have some good and some bad apples. My recruiter who I'm about to go in on was absolutely horrible. So I advise anybody that's looking to join the military or any branch, doesn't matter which one, that you research what you might want to do, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do per se. There's no the textbook ways of how to get what you want, so you can fact check anything that the recruiter says, because I'm not going to say they're going to lie, but they're going to lie through omission, meaning that they're not going to give you the full details on the job because maybe they don't even know, or they won't tell you all the problems that's going to occur during the process and also when you're in the military. They're not going to give you everything because at the end of the day, they're not going to tell you everything to get you to not want to join. So let's get to the story. Hit the subscribe button and comment your experience after watching this video, because y'all might be crazier than mine, but I want to hear it. I'm very interested. So for me, I decided to join the Army route because of specific opportunities aligned with what I had going on. So I did my research, I got a degree and all that stuff like that. So of course I wanted to be an officer. So I found this recruiting office. So I walked in, it was kind of quiet in there, right? It wasn't too many people in there. So they directed me to this foreign looking guy. And side note, I understand in like specific industries that you gotta be somewhat judgmental when evaluating certain people to filter them out, whether they're being serious or not, and you can really focus on what you need to do. But unfortunately, when you see a constant flow of a particular demographic, you naturally subconsciously become stereotypical. I'm not going to say that he was prejudiced or racist or nothing like that, because that's kind of a very big thing to throw at someone, especially without proof. But I'm going to say that just because it's not documented doesn't mean that you are not something, because you can be a thief, but just because you haven't got caught or you haven't been arrested for it does not mean that you're not a thief. As opposed to someone that may stole like a candy out the gas station and they got arrested for it, that they're a documented thief. They know how to hide it better than most. So me personally, I believe he was, based on how he spoke with me, some intangible things that kind of occurred, because it's hard to really say that someone is this. You just know, and also the flow of conversation as well too. For example, a drill sergeant saying get off the bus is going to give different context for if I say get off the bus. You know what I'm saying? That's off the verbiage and tonality and how he's coming at you. But I mean, I understood military, you can't be too sensitive, so I wasn't too offended, because he probably wasn't even doing it intentionally. So I didn't really take it with too much grain of salt, but it was definitely engraved in his process. So I walked in, I said my credentials to him. Hey, I got a degree, blah, 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 and I want to go the officer route. So in my mind, with him, I think he would listen to like the Charlie Brown show, where like, the adults be talking, all you hear is wah, 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 wah. And instead of listening to me and informing me about the process, to hey man, get this package in, this department that you need in addition to your degree, and even if you didn't believe me, say hey, bring your degree and a transcript in and we can see what we can work out and get you prepared for the next board meeting or something like that. So the first thing that came to his mind wasn't about anything about the officer position, right? He was like, that's cool, but we got these MOSs over here available, especially those combat positions. Guess what? With up to 50K bonus. And the thing about it it wasn't even like a combat officer role at that. So in my mind, I'm already getting funny vibes from him. So he already trying to fill in his little quotas or whatever like that to get me to go into some combat stuff. Not even put me in like leadership role, because I'm asking for a leadership position. So I'm still slightly neutral to him though. So, but I was looking at him, I'm being polite. I said, hey man, thank you for telling me that, but I want to go to officer route first and then I'll go from there. I don't think he liked what I said, because I guess I articulated my point to him, and his facial expression spoke volumes. In his mind, he see a big buff black guy, and he was like, you need to do some manual labor. You need to do some infantry job. Even though I'm more than qualified to do even an infantry level leadership role. You know what I'm saying? If you put me in the space to do it, but you automatically put me in a certain place already, even though I'm asking for this, you automatically boxing me in this voice on like this in generality. So that's besides the point. So because I was, at the end of the day, he probably wasn't even thinking that deep into it, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But his tone was starting to irk me just a tad bit. because after I said I wanted to be officer, not really focused on that at the moment, he simply just said, go to the back, take this test. Saying it very like, oh, I don't believe you that smart enough to be an officer, so let's kill this dream real quick. Let's get you enlisted right now type of tone, right? So me, I wasn't expected to take any type of test, and definitely I didn't study, obviously. So I went back there. I finished the test in probably like 30, 40 minutes. And he looked at me once I handed him back the paper. He was like, damn, you kind of finished fast. Because I think everybody does them. I heard people do the practice tests are way longer than that. So he's grading it, obviously, in a check, couple X's, whatever. And I'm getting an 83. And his energy, when I say his energy was totally different, now he all like, oh, he actually can be an officer now. So he's like, oh man, I never really did an application for officer before. He asked somebody else to help me out. Hey, you want to be active or reserve? I said reserve, whatever. He's like, why? I'm like, my business. You feel me? But I ain't say it like that though. But he was still kind of sketchy to me because like he lacked a lot of attention to detail. And I don't like people kind of trying to step me or something because he filled out paperwork, but it's inaccurate. So it still said enlistment documentation on there. I'm like, hey, bro, that say enlisted. We need to change that to officer. He's like, oh, my bad. Then I see it again. He had something else like kind of slid on there. I didn't really like that he kept kind of do the enlistment route as he's making the mistakes. So I already felt he was up to something. So after we got that straightened out though, he told me some strategies to get everything knocked out so we can kind of get the process going. So he told me to do the verification, do the test and do the verification, and we can do that all in the same day. Just got to drive an hour and something to do it. So we scheduled it like at 8 o'clock. Cool. Next day come, bro shows up late. An hour and something late. So I'm looking around like, what am I supposed to be doing? His office is cold, it's stuffy, and everybody's asking me like, who you came in for? So I said for Buddy, and they're calling him, no response. He walks in probably 30, 40 minutes after they was calling him, and he looks at me, oh, I see you're doing the test. I'm like, bro, I mean, mother the hell, I'm tired. He came an hour late, so I'm already annoyed right now taking the test. He getting me aggravated. So I'm halfway through the test, right? He walk up, he was like, hey, bro, I'm not trying to rush you, but the show's gonna be here in like 30, 40 minutes. But you good though, but you good. So he indirectly rushing me in the process. In my mind, it's like, bro, you came late and you rushing me. So in my mind, I got a clock in my head to get stuff done because I don't want to miss the bus and having to, you know what I'm saying, not go forward with the strategy. So I ended up getting it done, but here's what made me mad, bro. The shuttle wasn't even there. He ended up driving me anyways. So he rushed me for no reason, bro. So we drove like an hour and some change, right? So I'm asking some military questions. He just kind of filled me in on his background, like he was a British guy or whatever. He came from Britain, whatever. He did some load ammunition or whatever, something like that. So he started going into this little tangent about the lieutenants and stuff like that. So, but all I asked him was a simple question. I was like, what did you value far as in being in the military? What did you like? So he started saying what he said. I'm like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden he started going into the leadership stuff. I'm like, leadership is terrible. You get these lieutenants coming in, they don't know how to read maps. They think they're godly, but they don't hold no actual status and stuff like that. But then try to clean up because you know I'm actually applying for this role. You try to clean up, say, hey, like, but you not like the other ones. You even kill. You seem cool, confident, got good composure. You'll be fine. But here's what I didn't appreciate, and I don't respect it like at all, because I get it. But here's the thing, right? You can't be a lack of attention to detail. You can't say lieutenants are this and this and that. Oh, they can't read maps, but you can't even read contract. You can't even fill out easy paperwork. Because I'm about to go into some other factors as well too that kind of make me mad as well too. Because at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say, but I like people that is fair on both sides. At the end of the day, like I'm fair on that. If you want to criticize the officer stuff because you have some resentment, fine, cool. But if you're only going to go on that way, I don't respect it, because I know people that do have feelings towards the officers. But here's the thing: if I decide to do like a crappy MOS, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have nothing to say to discourage me from joining that MOS or speak badly on it. You just be, oh, sign this sucker up, which I do not respect that. You sound like a hater. You sounded very resentful. I did not like that industry. And here's where it got worse. So I'm actually driving up, right? And I'm not driving up. He's driving up, right? And he gets a call. Ring, 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 ring. It's on Bluetooth or whatever. So somebody from the office calls him. He's like, hey, where y'all at? He's like, oh, we almost in Tampa, whatever. like 30 minutes from where we need to be at MEPS or whatever, right? To take the to do the verification. He's like, hey, did you know that my name, I'm not eligible to be officer. Reason why, because I got a 118 on my score. I was supposed to get like a 120, I believe. It was either I got to get a 110 or a 120. I was 2 points below it. Whatever it was, I was 2 points below it. And he didn't even look. I had to chime in post edit, and I firmly believe that he knew I didn't have a qualifying score. And I actually appreciate that person for actually calling, because if I would have went in and took that podcast and verified my score, which I would have, then I would have not been eligible to become an officer. That's why that part is so significant. So I really thank that person, because I would have been in a real tight bind if I would have went and verified that score. Get the score. Matt, he already rushed me as well too, and didn't even look at the score to tell me that. So he looked at me, is like, guess we taking ASVAB. I'm like, what? Know what I'm saying? Like, what? He's like, man, you only got 2 points off, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see we almost there. You might as well. I feel like you'll do good and get 2 points off. And me, I'm already tired, already like exhausted already, and I'm already annoyed already that you already rushed me. Tell me I get a shuttle, then we don't even take the shuttle. And then you already dissing what I'm doing as well too, and indirectly already was trying me earlier. And then not to mention as well, while we was talking down there too, you're asking me, oh, so if you don't do well on the ASVAB or you don't pass the ASVAB, would you want to do the green and gold package? So you already assuming I'm going to do bad as well too. So I already feel like you already on some type of time where you're trying to sabotage me and to get me into enlisting. And I don't like that. But in my mind, he kind of said like, yeah, I'm already here. I'm only 2 points away. So at first I was like, all right, bet. I'll take the ASVAB to get out the way. I'm only 2 points short. So we get to the MEPS or whatever, and I check in or whatever, and I went to the bathroom. And then my mind is logic just cut back in, because at first I was like, why am I even doing this? Because at the end of the day, no one cares about what led you to your results. They only want to see the numbers. And once you put that number down there, you have to stand on it. Same way that they didn't care that they was rushing me to take the podcast. They just saw that number. He was 2 points below. You got to take that ASVAB. You can't verify. If you do, you're not eligible to be an officer. They don't care about that at the end of the day. So first thing I did, I don't care how far we drove. I called buddy. I was like, hey bro, we going back. We going back. And this is the point I was saying about him talking mess about the officer stuff. He didn't even know what he was doing, because how you schedule a podcast verification and 2 days later you already had an ASVAB already scheduled, which makes no sense, because if I fail the podcast, I'm gonna have to take ASVAB anyways, and if I actually pass the verification, then my score stands. So it wouldn't even matter. He did that even before he saw my score, or unless he really did see my score and he already was trying to do some ploy with that, which is kind of interesting as well too. Like I said, they be trying to do little slick finessey stuff. So I didn't care how he felt about it. He was kind of mad. I didn't really care. We drove all the way back from Tampa all the way to Orlando. Drove all the way back. Didn't care. I was only in MEPS for probably like 15 minutes. Drove all the way back. Didn't care. We'll do it Thursday. Thursday rolls around. I go in there. I'm ready. I'm good to take the ASVAB, whatever. Because I already didn't know the verification. I already took the verification already. So I'm like, all right, let's do the ASVAB. I'm gonna get these 2 points. I'm rested. I'm ready to get this 2 points, whatever. So we talking a little bit before we start to go. He was like, even if you get that 110 or 120, it's gonna be a lot of steep competition. So I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this after you finish do the ASVAB. We're gonna do this green and gold package real quick, and we're gonna get you. I'm like, you already telling me already indirectly that I'm gonna fail this already. And then if I do pass, you already say, oh, you got no chance to be an officer anyways. So here's this green gold package. I ain't gonna lie. I cut them off immediately. Like, bro, man, I'm not even focused on that right now, man. I'm trying to get this test done to get to the officer. We can reconvene on that later if I do not pass the ASVAB to the score of my liking. And then I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of pissed at the time. Went outside, read a book, and then we go to the ASVAB. We're driving to the MEPS or whatever. It's actually one in Orlando. So we driving there. So he trying to talking all this mess of like how like, man, I'm happy that you pretty much saying I'm happy that you are smart, because I had a lot of dumb people that don't even know what they doing, because he tried to fill me in like, oh, we used to help people a little bit, pass, and it baffled me how we would get them at like an 89 or 90 whatever, and they get a 5, like talking like how dumb they are. In my mind, I'm thinking like, wait, hold on. So you tell me that you was helping them, but you was rushing me and didn't even help me, and you let them take a whole day because he's talking about like he had one person take a whole 12 hours to take the whole little test. I'm like, this man gave me like an hour and something. So I'm like, let me listen to what he got to say about this, because I'm curious about this whole process that he did right here. So I'm already thinking in my mind like, oh, he definitely trying to get me to get me the finesse and trick me out my position or whatever. So I appreciate that. So then he started telling me about the test a little bit more in depth. I'm like, wait, the podcast was legit. I didn't even know that. I thought podcast was just like a little practice test to make sure that you're good to take the ASVAB. I didn't know that at the time. I didn't even know that was a legit thing. So while he talking, I'm going on my phone. I'm like, oh, the podcast is something legit. So if I verified it, I mean, I ain't have to take the ASVAB to begin with. But then I'm doing my digging. He's like, oh, if I take the ASVAB, then I can't take the podcast again. So I'm like, oh, I didn't verify it. It said I didn't verify it, so I can retake it again. So I'm like, he's trying to lock me in. I see what he's doing. He's trying to do some little finessey business. Okay, I see him. So here's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do me a finessey move, but I can't do it very overtly because I know that if I did it like that, that's gonna mess me up with other recruiters, because it's nothing to put my notes in and whatever and probably funnel it off because I already know what time it is. So I'm thinking in my head like, okay. And then I saw you can do it from home. Man, I saw you can do it from home. I definitely about to get out this ASVAB real quick. So we drove to ASVAB Park. It's a real dingy little library looking spot or whatever. And he walked to the spot we waiting. So I'm like, I gotta get out of this. Let me think of a way to do this. I texted my homie, I'm like, hey bro, call me bro. Just call me, say I gotta go. I got some emergency. He called me. Blah, 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 like, emergency. Hey, I gotta go. I can't take the ASVAB, bro. Straight up. Can't do it. I don't got nothing for it. I got to handle business with my peoples and stuff like that. Because I didn't want to say directly, because that, like I said, that'll cause some tension and trouble. I didn't want that problem. So I'm like, I'm going to cop out in this kind of finesse, because you already finessed me, so let me just finesse you back real quick. And so he kind of made me mad, because even if my situation was legit, the first thing he said, oh, you sure you got to go see your family? I'm like, bro, if you don't get your ass on somewhere and take me back, the fuck deadass said that shit to him, because he kind of pissed me off, because like, even if that was truth or whatever, the fact that you even said that to me, bro, I'm like, bro, take my ass home, bro, take me home. Who are you to question me what I got going on? And you already finessing me already. I'm trying to trick me out my position regardless. So I ain't trying to hear nothing that you talking about regardless, because I'm already done with you anyway. Should report you regardless, because I would not rock with you any type of fashion. You was already disrespectful. You already was dismissing my position, and you didn't even know what you wanted to do. I ain't like that. I ain't respect him as well at all. No respect at all. So I'm happy that I had people in Tampa, whatever. So I ended up let time fly, and so I can retake the podcast. So I ended up contact a recruiter over there, and then everything else ended up being good. So I know that it was kind of a long story, but it was a very like emotionally draining experience, especially after another experience I had prior to that as well. So I'm happy that I was able to get a good recruiter and handle everything correctly up front, and not trying to sell me on Enlisting. I don't mind people saying like, hey, I don't see nothing wrong with Enlisting, but don't try to finesse me and try to force me into go Enlisting when I'm asking to do something else. Like if I fail at doing the offers and stuff, then okay, suggest, hey man, you can do this green and gold package. Don't automatically throw that on me off the gate. And unfortunately, a lot of people that be in this predicament, they end up getting finessed into doing something they don't want to do, because they didn't either do the research. They don't even know what they're not even aware that the recruiter's trying to finesse them or trying to make them a sale. So I advise everybody, just don't even tolerate certain recruiters. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to not look out for your best interest. Don't even go with them, because trust me, there's a lot better recruiters out there that will make sure that you're good. So hope you guys found this video beneficial and helpful, man. Hit the subscribe button. Tell me your experience, and I'm out. Gone.